Yes, my people, welcome back to another episode of the Where's My podcast. Today, we're joined by another special guest, designer, producer, stylist, film director.
Come on.
I got like everything still. We're joined by Mr. Reece Yeboah.
Yes.
Can I say founder of St. London?
Yeah, of course.
Cool, man. I can say that founder of St. London. When we heard a lot about him, and finally we got him in the studio. Reece, this one's coming out, yeah?
No, I can't wait. I can't wait for this one to come out.
We're coming, family.
Come, man. Family.
Cool. You're love for coming, man.
No way.
Yeah, man. Obviously, for those of you who don't know about Reece yet, obviously, not at the beginning of every episode, I like to give like a little short, let's say, 30 seconds of why the person in that seat is on the podcast. And yeah, to be honest with you, Reece, there's a number of reasons, man. Obviously, from when we've worked with each other before, I've shown you that you've inspired a lot of us, including myself and Grove, to do different things. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of accolades we can speak about throughout the podcast.
Yeah.
Being one of the first independent brands in Selfridges.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Just doing the things you did for the ends, doing so much. Everything you did around the Grenfell fire. Just a lot of stuff, bro. So obviously, honoured to have you in the studio today.
Pleasure, man. That's a pleasure, man. You guys having me here, bro. I love this setup. The setup's looking good still.
Yeah, professional, innit?
Yeah.
Bro, you have to do it.
100%.
But yeah, do you know what, Reece? I want people to really understand who you are.
Yeah.
And I think that's important for what's coming. And you know what I mean when I say that.
100%. Yeah,
So obviously, I definitely want to speak about your journey and then what's led you to where you are now.
Yeah.
And more importantly, what's coming next year.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's get started. So obviously, one easy question to ask is fashion.
Yeah.
Why did you get into it?
Wait, my mum basically, man, got me into fashion. Do you know what I mean? I always liked how she dressed me as a child. Do you know what I mean? In Prada, Gap, Moschino, all of these things were like big. You know what I mean? Going to school, going to place and to show off. It was just dope. I just liked the feeling that I got when she put me in these clothes. You know what I mean? Going to Selfridges, going to East London, Roman Road to look for clothes. I just loved the whole process of it, and I just, admired it, as well as, fast forwarding into 2005, 2006 when Pharrell started Billionaire Boys Club. And that was like, yeah, I said, you know what, I'm going to start my own brand, man. One day.
You see that feeling that you mentioned, yeah?
Yeah.
Because obviously when you're younger, sometimes clothes are just clothes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Man wanted lighten up shoes. Do you know, shoes that lit up when you stamped. Like, most guys didn't care about the Pradas and, do you know what I'm saying? Like, how did you become aware of the significance of what you were wearing at the time?
Just the compliments I'd get when I went to parties, when I went to play center, when I was in school, like from teachers, from peers, from aunties, uncles, like, oh, I like them shoes, man. Like, that suits you, man. Like the colour of it, and I was thinking to myself, yeah, like, you know what I mean? I really like the feeling, I really like picking up the clothes, and I obviously just gained my own style from, just going shopping with my mum a lot. And I picked that up obviously once I got older and said, it makes sense if, I pursue the career that I want to do. And not most of the people that I was around ever wanted to get into fashion. So it was just an avenue that I analysed, and I said to myself, let me try, this avenue, because everyone else is trying to be a footballer, a boxer, them sort of things. You know what I mean? I wasn't as athletic, but I did. I did play football. I mean, before I got shipped to Ghana, I was playing for Reading for a bit. And yeah, everything was dope. But yeah, fashion, that's how I started off with the fashion thing.
Reece, you said that's interesting, yeah? Obviously, you're from Grove.
100%.
We've known each other for years.
100%.
And you said that a lot of people around you weren't trying to do the fashion thing like that.
Yeah.
I find that so interesting because I feel like Grove is such a fashionable area.
100%.
So why do you feel like the people around you were interested in other stuff rather than what you became interested in?
We were just in like a follow fashion era, man. Everyone wanted to rap. You know what I mean? Just get into the wrong things. And music was a way out for a lot of people, as you know, the AJs, the Diggers. You know what I mean? Everyone wanted to just do that, and it was just a saturated space for everyone. And not a lot of people thinking outside of the box. And obviously, trap store about. I took a liking to that from early age because of the creativity that they had with, the pizza boxes and the washing up liquid things, and you know what I mean, the patches that would come off and all of that. I was thinking to myself, that is a sort of like, inspiration and innovation that we need to, go into. We don't just need to follow this one blueprint. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, the whole Pharrell thing is, the blueprint that I chose to follow. And I've been following ever since with the music and the fashion and everything.
And you said 05, 06.
05,
Was where you kind of said, I'm going to start a brand.
100%.
You were young at them times, though.
Yeah, bro. I was a baby, bro.
Yeah, how old were you?
Bro, I think that was like year 7.
Okay.
Yeah. Just started year 7.
And then, so cool, year 7. So what was
so
the
year
brand?
7, like, obviously Billionaire Boys Club came out. Me and my mate Christian wanted to start a brand. We was going to kind of like have like an honorary brand called Pirate Boys Club, but we didn't know what we was doing, man. So we just popped down, do you know what I mean? And then I was just being naughty in school, and the start of 06, my mum sent me to Ghana for 3 years, but
Before we get to Ghana, though.
everyone laughs, bro. It's not even a joke. It's not even a joke.
You know how you're saying, obviously, you and Chris
didn't
know what you were doing.
Yeah.
How, like, I'm happy you said that. Because most young people, when they start brands or whatever, I feel like now, obviously, there are spaces where you can kind of learn about these things. 100%. Whereas them times, it was basically nothing. No. So what sort of things were you and Chris doing? Like, how did you know that, bro, let's get t-shirt screen print, do you know what I mean?
We didn't even know about any of that. We didn't know about what screen printing was. We just wanted to start a brand. Like, we knew what logo we wanted to manipulate. We knew how we wanted our styles to, you know, fit and what sort of, you know, message we wanted to put out there. But bro, from that age, we don't know nothing about no mission statement and no trademarking. And we just thought, this is long, man. We just want to play and be kids. And this, you know what I mean? This was just before the iPod came out as well. So that took our attention, and we was on our PS2s, man. We just thought, you know, this is long. And then, like he went more into like tailoring.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, so he does like more tailoring, more suave, sour roll kind of. That's his drip, and I stuck at like streetwear, high-end streetwear.
Yeah, cool. So keeping on that sort of chronology, Ghana.
Yeah, man.
So what happened in Ghana? Bro. And was there anything? Let me kind of caveat that question here.
Yeah.
Was there anything that you observed or experienced in Ghana that affected your sort of fashion aspirations?
Yeah. Basically, my uncle and my auntie were tailors for 30 years.
Okay.
So I used to watch my uncle make, like, he used to make clothes for the whole village, basically. And he made like my school uniform from scratch. So I took my measurements, did my shorts, did my shirt. And you know Ghana, it's like a custard top.
It looks nice.
Yeah, it's banging. With the brown shorts. You get like free. So you buy the material, and he just took me through the whole process. And even though I didn't really want to get into the whole like tailoring and machinery wear thing, but he just said to me, you know, this is what you have to do. And I like that, to be honest. And like the way how I came up with St. London was like, I thought to myself, I was never going to come back, bro. I got a one-way ticket. And I said, you know what, man, if I ever get to come back, this is something that I want to do, and this is what I want to kind of like replicate. The same obviously means me being a black sheep within my family. I'm the youngest, I'm the last born. So I felt like...
Why did you feel like you were the black sheep, though?
Because I felt like, you know, no one else got punished like me.
Evidently.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't do anything crazy. I was just being naughty and messing about in school, like pressing fire alarms and doing stupid stuff. You know what I mean? No one got sent to Ghana but me. But obviously it helped me. I didn't see that. So that's the reason why and how I got the concept of being the black sheep in the family, because it's like everyone else gets to do what they can do and no one gets the same punishment as me. And I didn't feel as loved at the time. Do you know what I mean? Where, to be honest, that was like the most loved thing to do for
100%
for me, because, you know, the people that I was rolling with, RIP, my good mate Veli, I was in school with him, he passed away. We had other few people in Twyford that were incarcerated as well. And that was the whole like unit that I was rolling with. My mum was like, no chance, can't be rolling with these lot, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want something different for you. And I couldn't see that as a child. I was a class clown. I just wanted to follow what everyone else was doing.
And sorry, Reece, looking back, considering everything you've achieved thus far, I know you obviously want to achieve a lot more. Yeah. But sometimes you ever say to yourself, maybe my mum saw something in me that I didn't see it. So you know how you're saying you got treated like the black sheep? Was it like your mum said, this is the star? Do you know what I'm saying? So I need to do certain things for him. Yeah.
I feel like the purpose of her sending me there was to obviously break a generation of curse. She didn't want me ending up like my older brother or my cousins or anything like that. She didn't want me to follow their path. She wanted me to have my own mind and follow my own path. And I didn't see that. And she's thinking, this is like my last hope. Like, this is my son. Do you know what I mean? I can't lose him to the streets. So he's mad. No chance. So, yeah, like what she did was I appreciate it 10 times, even though I caught malaria a bag of times, bro. And I had to firm it with no jab or nothing.
You must have a strong immune system.
What? Yeah, it's bad, bro. Are you mad, bro? Bro, trust me, Ghana, it teaches you a lot, especially when you're in the bottom. Like
The village.
I was like in Everton, the equivalent of where I was, bro. I was in the village, bro. I was in the village, but it was dope. All the people were dope, and I ended up meeting someone that got shipped out from Peckham out there. So me and him were just brethren throughout the whole. He made my life easier.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Big up Jason, man. But yeah, that was dope. And then I came back when my nan was ill, couldn't find a school. My mom wanted me to do plumbing and construction. And I just said, bro, let me just do this to just keep it quiet, man. Do you know what I mean? And then I went into fashion after that.
So how old were you when you came back?
When I came back, I did 2.5 years there. So I came back, I was like just turning 14. Okay, so still young. Yeah. So when does St. London come to the picture? St. London came in 2013, so it's like my second year of college came in when I said, you know, this plumbing thing, I can't do this, man. Like, I really like it. I got my level 2 and all of that, but doing the level 3 is not for me, even though it's something good to fall back on. I didn't want to have the mindset of me having something to fall back on. Do you know what I mean? I just wanted to go full throttle with this fashion thing. And yeah, I started that 2013, and I pushed forward, bro. I pushed forward. I had one of my mates' friends helped me like build up my portfolio, like, you know, just putting all my files together. And I did that for about 7.5, 8 years? 8 years now?
Hey, no, we can't just skip over.
No, I'm not skipping. I'm just saying that's how long I did it for. You know what I mean? I ain't skipping. Do you know what I mean? But I did it for like that. But like from 2013 to 2015, I was just grafting, trying to figure out like what do I need to do? Where am I getting blanked from? Who am I? And I bumped into Ash from Trapstar. Okay. And he was like, bro, like, if you need any help, XYZ, this is this. I know someone that can do your graphics for you. I know someone that can find your blanks for you. And I found my blanks through him. And Charlie Crockett had a brand called Ain't London at the time. He had a shop on Benno. So I went into his shop one day, I was like, bro, I'm looking for someone to do my logo for me. He looked at me, he was like, bro, bounce, man. I was like, nah, bro, I'm being this, I've got my money on me right now. And he was like, yeah, okay, cool. 250, I gave him 250, he did my logo for me, I wasn't really happy with it. Changed it, and then that was it.
Do you know what's, I'm happy we're actually talking about like the logo and stuff like that. Because we've had this conversation before, but I remember, I was just obviously just in the ends doing school, doing whatever I'm doing. And I just remembered when the brands started coming around, I remember I would see Ernest, KD, just all the random in the area wearing it. I just think, who is this? Like, what is this? And then when the random said Skips, I'm like, no flipping way. Like, I was so proud because at them times, it's like the brand was, it was so packed. You might not agree with it because of the sort of things you're trying to do. But for me, it was packaged so well that I was saying to myself, wow, like someone I know, someone from the ends ended up doing this. Do you know what I'm saying? So speaking about the logo and stuff, that's obviously one of the main things that stood out to me. How did you come up with it? What does it represent? What does it mean?
So again, it's the colours are black and white. It represents yin and yang and the black sheep in the family. I like that colourway because I didn't really see it as much that time. And the placement of the London, I didn't really see a lot of people putting London under their logo as small. Obviously, I just want to emphasise on the Saint more and just have the London discreet, which pretty much everyone's doing now. But at the time, I didn't really see that. I just thought, you know, I want if I'm going to take this to, you know, a global scale or international scale, I want people to know that they're buying into something and it's European. Do you know what I mean? Because I always had dreams of going to America with the brand. I just didn't know how I was going to get there at the time. And just things just happened fast for me, bro. From 2013 to 2015, Lewis Hamilton was the first person that wore my clothes.
Yeah, no, I see.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and that just happened through me bumping into someone in the lobby, which happened to be stylist at the time. And she asked me what I was wearing. I said it was my brand. We sat down. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, what does he like? She gave me a little palette. I didn't have a line sheet. I didn't have anything like that. I just had pictures on my phone. Gave it to her. She gave me a dress and we wore it.
So that's just history.
Yeah, man.
But coming back a bit, like, obviously I was saying before that the first thing that made it catch my attention, the logo, and obviously seeing the man then wear it as well. So how important do you think that community support was to the brand? And how did you garner it? Because not everybody in their area or whatever can get their bedrooms to pay for something when their benches might think to themselves, "Oh, I can go to JD and get a pair of trainers." Do you know what I mean? So how did you make that happen?
Quality was it's always been my main priority, to be honest, man. And I know the man that we like good things, innit? We go out all the time, we like looking smooth. And I just didn't want to do what everyone else was doing, to be honest. I didn't want to just get a t-shirt from anywhere and not and make you feel, oh, like, let me just buy it because it skips, man. I wanted you to actually feel the quality of it, see the design, understand my vision, the packaging too, and you say to yourself, okay, cool, I'm gonna buy this, man, because this is clean, this is nice, and I can actually wear this out. So yeah, I started doing that, and just all the locals, I started putting them in it and spreading the word through Snapchat and WhatsApp and all of that. And then people just started picking it up. Do you know what I mean? Phoning me for customs and stuff, and yeah, it just picked up.
Sorry to stick on this point, but I like the fact that you spoke about quality and you're aware of how important the quality was very early on in your journey. I think nowadays a lot of people may have that perception, but sometimes it's like being able to get that sort of quality when you're first starting in the fashion world seems quite difficult. So how were you able to kind of get clothes that you knew people would be like, yo, the quality of this is hard?
It was a lot of research, man. It was a lot of trial and error. I bought a lot of stuff just to feel. Again, Ash helped me out, man. Big up Ash, to be honest, man. Because I was lost, bro. I didn't know what I was going to do in terms of quality. I couldn't get right at first. I spoke to him and he said, you know what, man, try these people and see what you like. And then he kind of schooled me on the whole, like fabric weight, GSM, washing to ratio. And I started to research that a bit as well. I think when I started, no one really cared about those little intricate details. Facts. No one was like trying to understand what GSM was and what weight this was and how it would shrink when you wash it and all of that. And I said to myself, you know what? You kind of have to care about that, because if I'm buying something, bro, I want to know. Do you know what I mean? So it's best that I educate the person that's buying into the brand so that they know. And yeah, it just worked, bro. People just started asking me, and I had everything laid out for them, and I'd tell them, listen, wash it at this because the print's this. And yeah, that was it. Yeah,
now all that stuff definitely does make a big difference, and you can see now a lot of brands are aware of that as well.
100%.
And yeah, it definitely helps in building a perception around the brand as well. If you talk about your quality, I feel like it's almost like a signifier of how, I don't want to say good, but how wearable, how good the brand is. Do you know what I mean? So so obviously 2015 was when Lewis wore the hoodie, right? So what sort of things happened after that?
Bro, I just started picking up a lot of PR and a lot of like contacts. A lot of people started DMing me. I just kept pushing from 16 to 17. And in 17, I bumped into Future's stylist through one of my mates, Jason Rembrandt. My brother, man, that's my brother. He's helped me so much.
Genuine guy.
Proper genuine. So basically, I originally met Jason through wanting to get through to Zayn from One Direction.
Okay. Why him? That's so peculiar.
I just made a list in my head and on paper of people that, I wanted to break into certain markets to. And the influence that Zayn had at the time was insane, as you can imagine.
Yeah, One Direction.
You know what I mean? Like, bro, everyone loves Zayn at that point. So I just thought to myself, dude, and he was with Geeky at the time. Do you know what I mean? So I was thinking to myself, do you know what, man? Let me just not think about this market. Let me think about other avenues and other markets, because, bro, there's so many people you can have your clothes in, and there's so many markets that you can reach. You know what I mean? You got to think outside the box. So I did that. Reached out to Jay, met Jay for the first time, and we had like one of the dopest conversations ever, bro.
Was this over the phone?
No, in person. I met him in person.
In the
clothes.
UK?
Yeah, because he was here with him, working with him.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I was thinking to myself, this guy's he's a real road man, like ex-road man. He's just turned his life around and he's in the fashion industry. So I'm thinking to myself, it's like an older brother. Like I followed the same path he's followed. Yeah. And he just asked me, like, who do I want to get my clothes in? And I said to him, Future, man. I'm rocking with Future right now. This is cool. No worries. I'm a man of my word. Just let me know what you want to give to him, and I'll put you in contact with these people. Did that. Then he went on tour, and then I just see it on tour.
Yeah, what was it? The Saints Never Die?
Nah, it was the Good Die Young t-shirt he wore.
Okay.
The Diana.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, no way is that my tee. And then he was like, yeah, you wore it this morning. I was like, no way. And then after that was it.
When you say that was it.
That was it. That was like, once Future wore it, that's when like pretty much most of the stylists in America knew like, yeah, this guy.
Yeah, that's how influential he is in fashion.
Yes. And also the influence that the stylists have out there, because they're all like cool with each other. Do you know what I mean? So if one recommends you to the other, it's like, okay, cool. It's a genuine brother. Do you know what I mean? So they like to keep their circles tight and strong. So any recommendations they take on board, and they say to themselves, you know, this guy's a good guy. Do you know what I mean? So
do you know what I wanted to ask you, obviously, you've had a lot of American artists wear your clothes and stuff. So, Lil Baby, Future, Thug,
Roddy,
Gucci. Yeah, can't forget Roddy. It's hard. Like names, innit? The biggest names. Like Moneybag. Who else?
You said Thug, innit?
Ashanti. This is like a game, right?
Bro, there's a couple people still. Chief Keef. I've had Famous Dex in the clothes, Jaquez. I've had a couple people.
And the reason I wanted to speak about that is because, like, how important do you think that is to the brand? Do you know what I'm saying? And the reason I asked that question is because some people on the other side of things might say, yeah, it's okay if like artists and stuff are wearing your garments, but if the people on the road aren't wearing it, then what does it really mean? Do you know what I'm saying?
No,
so what's your thoughts on that?
Bro, it's true. I don't really think it matters anymore, but it was a game that I had in my head. It's something that I set out. I quit my job, bro, and I said to myself, I'm going to make this happen. And I made that happen. I made a list of these people, and I've got these people in. So I've shown what power I possess with networking skills. And that's all I ever wanted to, prove to myself and not anyone else. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if I, started a trend of people getting their clothes on people. But essentially, if you don't have a machine behind you or have the correct marketing strategy behind you, it doesn't really
difficult to do that.
Yeah, it doesn't really mean that much. It's not that it doesn't mean that much, it's just that you can't capitalize off the hype that you get. So you have to set up stuff ready for, which I've learned a lot from St. London, do you know what I mean? So
do you know what, Reece? I'm really happy you said that, and I'm happy that you were honest about that as well. Because sometimes from the outside looking in, it can look like, if somebody gets their clothes on a certain artist, it's like they feel like they've made it and that's it. Do you know what I'm saying? So are you kind of acknowledging that at that time, that was one of the main sort of, as you said, it was like a personal ambition of yours, of your own. So it was like at the time, that was like a main sort of checklist for you to get it on certain people. Then over the years, you realize there's a lot more.
There's a way, it's not just that. It's not, you can't just have a banker of your whole business based on this one viral moment, you know what I mean? Because you can't predict when it's going to be, and do you know what I mean? It did help because obviously that all led to Selfridges, innit? So it does work, it does get you the attention, but it's better that you have the infrastructure set up so that, if you're doing these things and you get this traction, you could turn this traction into revenue.
Which is the main thing.
You know what I mean? So. And
Reece also said something that interested me as well, You mentioned networking. And that's definitely something I've noticed about you. Like, for example, when we upload a post that has you in it, I'm seeing 50 reshares and I think, what's going on, man? We're not used to this, you know what I'm saying? So, one, how important is networking? And two, how do you network? Do you have a specific sort of thing that not always works, but you network in a particular way? Or what is networking to you?
Well, to be honest, bro, I put myself out there from 2014, and my goal was for 2014 to 2017, me to crack the code of Instagram, basically. Just like playing Grand Theft Auto, innit? Like San Andreas. Once you clock the game, you know how the game works, you know all the cheats and all that. So, I just kind of formulated my own strategy into reaching out to certain people and getting certain responses and how I wanted to be perceived when I'm reaching out to people. Do you know what I mean? And I just found a formula and it worked. I just kept doing it. And it worked I proper clocked my critique and everything. I know what I really want to do. It's really important networking, but I don't think it's the end all. It's just that's my key strength along with designing. Some people might be finance, some people it might be sketching and making clothes. Mine is definitely networking. But putting yourself out there is very important, and also assessing when people don't really want to rock with you, but they're just being kind. That is something that you'll find out through trial and error, innit? And I've just clocked that through trial and error. I said, you know, this person don't really rock with me. But they're being polite, but they don't rock with me.
So you know how much effort to put in those sort of relationships. So what is it about you that you think makes you a good networker? Is it your bravery, your personability?
I think it's the hustle. I think people just admire the hustle, man. They admire, like, you know, what I've been through, like the story, the willingness, the bravery, like you're saying, and just, you know, the fact that I'm English, especially in the American market, like the fact that you're English and you're out here with, when I went to America the last time, 2020, I went there with a suitcase, I didn't have no clothes. I had a suitcase full of just Saint, bro. Grammy weekend, pulling up on people, NBA Youngboy, this one, Moneybag, anyone, wherever they're at, whether it's a club, outside a restaurant, outside a hotel, I'm pulling up, boom, I'm from London, do you know what I mean? That's awesome. So they're like, what? This guy is mad, bro. Come all the way from London to do that? You're serious, bro. You're serious. And then it just builds a bigger link. And the thing that I like about the networking skills that I have, or what I've been able to do over the years, is that I get let into people's like social circles. Like I build like really great relationships with artists and their team. It's not just, oh, this guy's gonna give me clothes and that's it. It's bigger than that. And that's something that not a lot of people could do, because not a lot of people are likable, or they show their intentions to fit in the situations that they get into. So that's just a key strength that I have, and I've just used it to the best of my ability.
As you should, isn't it? And so you mentioned Selfridges.
Yeah.
And I remember when you were first in Selfridges, and I was like, bruv, like, how did you do this? Do you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. Like, it was a proud moment for everyone in the ends, bro. Honestly, it was sick, man. I remember I probably went to look at it, and that was crazy. And so obviously I read the article, so I kind of saw how things really happened.
Yeah.
But how did that actually happen?
Bro, I was going somewhere. I think I was meant to go to Bethnal Green or somewhere like that. But I was on the tube, so I left my house. I was on the tube, I forgot something. I came back to my house. I was wearing my t-shirt, it was summer. And someone that worked there saw my top and was like, oh, where did you get that? Where's that from? Is that
which one were you wearing?
The Good That Young t-shirt. They're like, oh, is that a vintage top or something? I was like, no, it's mine. Like, you know, I did this, so like, no, it didn't. Do that. I was like, I did it. Like, big man thing. Like, my Bridget does the whole screen printing thing for me. Like, I actually did it. Like, okay, cool. Have you got a line sheet? I said, no.
What is a line sheet? Because you said it before.
So a line sheet kind of breaks down the whole like pricing and materials that you're going to use for specific garments in your collection. So it just breaks down, you know, where you make profit and how much the garment costs to make, in order to show to the buyers and all of that stuff. But yeah, I didn't have one, but I said I had one. Researched, and then she gave me an email. This lady gave me an email. I reached out to them and said to them who I was and how I met up with this person that gave me the email. And before I knew it, bro, I had a meeting. I was in Selfridges with the buyer and the boss of Selfridges, bro. I was shook.
Wait, why were you shook?
Because, bro, I didn't have enough. I blagged it, basically. Like, I had to come up with my own document, like which I didn't know how to do, but I learned how to do on the spot, pitch it to them, and I didn't know anything. Remember, I'm going into this blindsided, innit? I've heard so many things about going into Selfridges and seller return and all of this stuff, and bro, they were just so nice and so calm and so understanding the situation and rating the fact that, you know, I always wanted to give back to the community and that, you know, I was so close to like the Grenfell lot and that. And they decided to just buy the collection outright, which has never been done.
That only happened, innit?
That's never been done. Like, they've never just found a designer, bought the collection outright and just let it stay in there. So I mean, it's always seller return. So I'm really thankful for that, man.
Obviously, we were speaking about the Selfridges stuff. Like, as you were kind of one of the first of the man then, if I can say that, to do it, what did you learn from it and what was the experience like?
Bro, just that the vast majority of people that go there is just so diverse, man. Like, I used to just go in there and just sit and not even go to where my clothes were and just look at the amount of people that will pick up and touch my clothes. I think to myself, like, wow, like, this place has got so many people that just come over and just buy things and like them and request certain colours, and it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about, you know, price points, where I want to like situate myself with my new brand. But it went well, man. It went well. I wish I was in there as much, you know, selling the product, but I think that's something that I did that not a lot of designers do. But some don't necessarily need to do, which is like going there and showing people that you're there, telling customers about your story. You know, because some people just be like clued up, like with who you are, and some people won't. Like, they'll just be like, oh, like, is this your brand? Oh, I didn't even know that. You know, because a lot of people thought I was a white guy, I'm not gonna lie.
I swear.
Yeah, I can't lie, with the whole St. London thing, the movement. It was like, oh my god, like, you're a black guy.
Do you know what's crazy? But do you know what's crazy about that though, Reece? Yeah, because obviously it's hard for me to look at St. London without knowing it's you.
Yeah.
But I feel like you can tell because it seems so authentically what it is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's authentically street.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It represents Grove. It represents a lot of things, innit?
Yeah.
So I could never have envisioned it being. So I don't get why other people. Why do you think other people thought it was?
I don't know, bro. Just because of the caliber of people that were in it. Everybody thought I had a team. Everyone thought I had backers and stuff, bro. I did everything by myself for 7 years, bro. Do you know what I mean? So it was just hard to believe. Everyone thought I was just lying. I did everything, bro. Everything, bro. I did every role so that, you know, if I was to reach the point that I'm at right now and understand like what people I need on board and, you know, how much it would cost, what job roles that they would need to like fulfill, what their job requirement would be, all of that sort of stuff, because I've done everything from scratch, do you know what I mean? But I don't know why, bro, but, you know, I'm flattered, but yeah, it's what it is, man.
So, so what did this Selfridges everything do for the branding?
Bro, it just put me on an international and global scale, like a radar, which was good and bad. Because obviously leading into the following year, that whole NFL stuff happened. But yeah, that whole 2018, bro, I felt even now, bro, when I bump into, oh, he's doing something, like it's just mad how it spread through like my social circles, people that I don't know, my mum's friends, like just everybody was just so like. It just captured everyone, like, and it was just crazy, like how the word of mouth spread throughout the whole community, plus into like my whole personal life and stuff. It was crazy, bro.
And how did you kind of, because we spoke about that being able to capitalize before, and you were speaking about how if you don't have the sort of machine ready, then it's very difficult to do so. So with the whole Selfridges stuff, how do you feel like you capitalized off that?
I capitalized by, you know, getting certain opportunities, like my clothes being in Top Boy. So you guys are gonna see the new Top Boy that's coming out. You guys are gonna see it.
Maybe I did not know that.
I mean? Like no one knows what I mean, but yeah, like just you know the casting team for that, the styling team for that were like, oh yeah, like we know you had your brand in Selfridges and you know we want to see if we can get some pieces via email. I thought it was fake. You know what I mean? I thought it was some catfish thing, but yeah, it's just certain opportunities that appear out of nowhere and just how like, you know, like I said, the whole word of mouth spreads throughout Instagram, LinkedIn, WhatsApp. Like it's just crazy. I had like some people in France trying to get some clothes. Like I forgot the name of the brand, but they're kind of like equivalent of a Selfridges too. Okay. That they want to stop, but again, this whole pandemic stuff happened and I couldn't fulfill it's crazy. I couldn't fulfill the order, but yeah, man, it helped me a lot. It helped me a lot, and I've got like an unbreakable bond with them. And you'll see some more collaborative moves with them in the future. That's
for that. This question's a bit weird, yeah? But looking back on all of that stuff, I don't mean St. London as a whole because we'll get into the next part. But just the Selfridges stuff in general, is there anything you'll do different?
In terms of marketing, yeah. My rollout plan's going to be serious. I've got like a plan of what I want to do. I'm going to assess, you know, my market a bit more, which I've done already. I've done pretty much everything that I need to do. So it's just about putting it out there and seeing what avenues I can use to the best of my ability to get, you know, like I was saying, capitalize off the rollout, see if I can get, you know, a celeb to wear something in the campaign, what avenues and channels I want to push that out on. Again, before, you know, we took the break, I was talking about this whole metaverse and NFT stuff, so that's something that we can sit down and talk about. There's so many things, man, that I could do, that I've learned from, you know, my previous encounters. And I don't really want to say too much because obviously,
of course,
I really want to show you guys like what I want to do.
Yeah, we're gonna see it. Facts.
100%.
But obviously, I think this is the perfect segue to kind of talk about how you've had to move from say London to your bro. What's gonna come next?
Yeah.
So you said how Selfridges put you. So I'm. Do you know what, Reece? I'm really happy that you were quite honest about that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? You acknowledge the fact that it came with its blessings, its many blessings, but
Yeah.
it also came with the fact that it put you on the radar,
Yeah.
which led to the cease and desist.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like if you want to talk more about that, like what actually happened.
Yeah. So to my knowledge, I'm not saying like I'm clueless, but I got a letter from the NFL or representative from them, just stating that that they want me to stop doing this whole same thing. I was thinking to myself, they're taking the mick. Like, why now? Do you know what I mean? I've been doing this for ages. You know what I mean? I've had all of these stars wear my clothes and whatnot. I was thinking to myself, man, this don't seem right. You know what I mean? And tried to fight it. You know what I mean? I spent a lot in court. My legal team advised me to just take precaution because, bro, this is like a David and Goliath thing. Do you know what I mean? Like this, it could get long. So I said, you know what, man? Like it's just. It drained me, bro. I can't lie, man. I wanted to stop doing fashion full stop.
I can imagine.
Because, bro, I've put 8 years into this thing, do you know what I mean? And now it's like, what? I've got to stop doing everything, do you know what I mean? And there's no, like reason to me stopping. Like, there's no reason why we can't coexist. Like, I'm not taking any...
of their market share.
Yeah, I'm not taking no one from you. No, like I doubt that people would have even cross-referenced the brand with my brand and said, okay, I thought this was that and I thought this was that. It's just, I feel like it was just a spiteful move, it was a power move, and they just tried to stop me from, capitalizing and being big in America. But yeah, man, I feel like, I don't want to say too much, but yeah, we'll bounce back, man.
100%.
You know what I mean? That has probably been the best thing in my career so far to happen to me because it's humbled me and it's given me so much time to plan for my next thing. Do you know what I mean?
I'm glad that you said that as well because when I was thinking about what we're going to speak about today, I kind of imagined you saying something like that. Obviously, St. London was wonderful, did amazing things for you, people around you, but this gave you an opportunity to do something different.
Yeah.
But before we get onto that, I feel like when you go through like certain situations that don't make sense, part of like the healing process is to kind of rationalize it. Or with some people, for me, rationalizing could represent closure in a sense, But then also some people would say that you shouldn't rationalize it and you just kind of get on with things. How did you actually cope with that? Because that's a lot on a man's mental,
Yeah, it's nuts. To be honest, bro, like I said, when I first started, bro, I was really low. Really, really, really low state. I was thinking to myself, bro, this is long, bro. This is so long, bro. I worked so hard for all of this, bro. It's just long. Like, what am I going to do now? And then I thought to myself, you know what? I'd rather be like the sacrificial lamb for the next gen and them learn from this situation and get all of the stuff that they need patterned up instead of me just go out and think about myself. You know what I mean? I don't want to think about myself. I want to think about the people that are looking up to me. And it makes so much sense for me to take this L. Well, it's not a loss, it's a lesson. And it's a blessing as well because, like I said, it's helped me really understand what I need to do. And it's helped me understand that I need to think outside the box. I'm in St. London, I put myself in a box because I was just in like this whole streetwear mind frame.
What does that represent?
Just the typical standpoint of what we're told we can do. Make t-shirts, make hoodies, make hats, make varsities, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like that's all people think of when they think of black designers. You know what I mean? And it's a must that we break them boundaries and show people that we can do high end, we can do luxury, we can go Louis and be creative directors like Virgil. We could push crazy barriers, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm so happy that it's happened for people to read articles and listen to this podcast and understand that they need to pattern up what they need to pattern up in terms of their business and legal side of things and just learn from the mistake that I made and just trademark your stuff. If you really believe in it, trademark your stuff. make sure all your designs are yours, all your files are there, and yeah, just pursue with caution.
With caution. Good point. And looking back on what happened, do you feel like with the way you were kind of running St. London, a situation like this was inevitable?
I didn't see it coming, to be honest. And to be honest, yeah, I feel like everything happens for a reason, man. Do you know what I mean? It definitely happened for a good reason. And it made me understand that I can't do it by myself. Do you know what I mean? I have to have a team, especially with what I want to do now and the boundaries that I set, you know, at the time for myself with St. London. I said to myself, listen, you've put like a barrier around yourself by not having a team, by not having an understanding or a different perspective from someone else. You need that with this. You need like at least a team of 7 to 8 people. Why
did you not want that? As in those outside perspectives?
It's not that I didn't want it. It's just that I didn't know about. I didn't know how about going about the route of, you know, finding a business manager or someone to do my HR or having someone do my patterns and all of that. I've been learning from St. London because I dropped out of fashion school. You know what I mean? 7 months in over 3-year course because I didn't want to work for anyone. I wanted to work for myself. So yeah, I was just learning and now I've learned that, you know, these are the things that I need, these are the people that I need, and when I proceed, I'll step correct. You know what I mean? Because I'll have eyes on everything.
100%. Bro, sorry to go on a tangent. I didn't know you went to fashion school.
Yeah, I went to KCC and then I went to Central St. Martin's and I went to Central St. Martin's for some short courses. Went to London College of Fashion for short courses as well. But I did maybe about 8 months at KCC. I did a fashion foundation course, level 3. And even that, bro, they just believed in me because I showed them like a mood board and I didn't have sketches. I didn't have to do any of that at the time. And they were just like, we believe in this guy. You've got a brand as well. Let's see what you can do. And then as I progressed in, you know, what we were doing and the things that we were learning about, I just thought, you know what I mean, they're just making you try to work for someone else. That wasn't me. So I just, you know, I quit it. Do you know what I mean?
How did you gauge that whilst you were there? Like, how did you gauge the fact that this is pushing you into working for someone else rather than yourself?
Because of the things that they would just say to you, like, oh yeah, after this course you'll be able to work for blah blah blah, and it was never for yourself. It was always to go to like another company or I was like, nah man, I'm not sitting here for 3 years to go and work for another company. I want you guys to uplift and build me so I can go and work for myself. Do you know what I mean? And you know, you have to be self-taught, I believe, to, you know, break certain boundaries and understand certain disciplines moving forward. So that's what I did.
So back to the main thing we were discussing. Obviously, we've spoken about what happened with cease and desist, and going back to what you said before about it was a lesson. It was like one of the best things that could have happened to you. When you first said it, I kind of smiled because I was like, yeah, that's what I thought about coming here. I was saying to myself that looking back at St. London, it was a sick brand, but then over the years, I've seen what you've tried to do, and it's like, or what you aim to do, and it's like, would you be able to do that in the constraints of St. London? So I feel like what happened has given you the opportunity to reinvent, not necessarily yourself, because you've always been the same guy. You've obviously grown through it over the 7 to 8 years or whatever, but like reinvent your fashion brand. Do you know what I'm saying? So what is the brand going to be called? Why? What can we expect?
Well, yeah, I'm calling it Yeboah, which is my surname, which means helping others in their contract. So it's just something I'm going to aim to do, not straight away, but, you know, eventually I'm going to be helping others. It's an impact brand, it's a street luxe brand. That's pretty much all I can say. I don't want to go too much into detail because I'm still trying to pattern up certain trademarks and all that stuff. But the main ones already, so one could really play with me right now. But yeah, no, it's going to be a really dope brand. Fingers crossed, I aim to have my show next year, my first ever fashion show. So obviously you guys are all invited and
VIP?
Yeah, 100%, bro. Backstage, all of that. Backstage, behind the scenes, you look all do that. I'm ready, man. But yeah, I feel like this is gonna be my best work ever, bro. Like people are actually gonna understand that I'm an actual designer, not just saying that I'm a designer, bro. I'm an actual designer. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, what my goals are for this brand is just, pursuing for about 8 to 10 years, and then hopefully I get to go to a big brand and be a creative director there. Who knows where? Do you know what I mean? But that's what I aim to do, and that's pretty much what I've been working on for the past 8.5 months.
Yeah, that's the blueprint. That's the plan you set out. Now, I'm really excited to see because obviously you've teased a couple sketches. You've only teased like 3 though. Like
no. From January, February, I'm gonna be showing some more. Some more, yeah.
Because how many sort of sketches, collections, and that have you got ready?
I got about 23,000 t-shirt and hoodie designs. I got 10 whole finished collections with averaging about 18 to 23 pieces in each collection. I need to do my second women's collection, and then from next week I'm going to start sketching out possible collaborations that I want to do for the brand. And what else is there? But there's so much stuff that I've been working on. It's insane, bro.
Why so many?
Because I want to plan for 5 years, and that's what my goal was. In January when I started, I said to myself, "What's the point of me designing for a year? I might as well plan for the next 5 years so that I could kind of ease off on designing, plan. Do you know what I mean? And focus more on what I did with St. London, which is the whole legal and financial side of things. Do you know what I mean? So I can proper scale. My aim for my brand is 9 figures in 6 years. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm going to be fighting for from the start of next year.
Oh, brilliant, bro.
Yeah, man.
And you know how you said you've been sketching for, let's say, 5 years worth of clothing or whatever.
Yeah.
You know how they say clothing works in trends and whatnot. Yeah. How do you do that then?
So I don't follow trends. I don't follow rules. The clothes that I'm going to be making and the clothes that you'll see are very much, practical clothes with twists to them and, sustainability aspects put to them as well. But I feel like a lot of things that we see on the runway are not practical. Like, not a lot of things are practical within the collection. I know it might be there to hype up, the look of the brand or the look of the collection or whatnot, but I want to make sure that my consumer understands that I'm making clothes for you to actually wear and buy and, and feel comfortable in, instead of, me coming up with wacky ideas that don't really make that much sense and can't really be worn. I don't want to waste material in it. That makes sense. But,
what made you start thinking like that?
The whole thing with St. London, bro. Just me sitting down in my house going through like a mental crisis, bro. Thinking to myself, bro, cool. I'm done stressing. What did I not do? What do I need to do? And what do I have to do? And it's just planning. Do you know what I mean? Planning and an action. So then I thought to myself in February, like next year, God willing, I definitely want to have, I've been having people wait for like 2 years. So I at least want to get some essential pieces out to you guys. You know what I mean? Some t-shirts, some hoodies, some streetwear staples just out there. People might be thinking, oh yeah, that's all you can bring out, but little do they know. Do you know what I mean? That is just like, a little tester and a little sorry for a wait package for people that have been waiting on the brand for a minute. So
that's even a decent name for a collection.
Yeah, 100%. Could do that, 100%.
You spoke about you kind of want people to know that you're a designer.
Yeah.
And I'm happy you said that because that's like a good segue into talking about the design work you've done for others.
Yeah.
So obviously, a lot of people listening would have seen that you designed Little Baby's tour merch.
100%.
Was it called the Outside Tour?
Yeah, that was insane.
But when I saw that, I was like, what the hell? You didn't tell me. No, I was like, what's going on there? Yeah, so talk us through that.
I kept that one quiet, man. Because that's something that I've learned from St. London, bro. You just got to keep your cards to your chest, bro. You can't keep telling people that you're going to go do this and do that and do this, and then it doesn't happen, and you're like, you're gassing.
Got egg on your face.
Do you know what I mean? So I said, you know what? This is probably my biggest job ever. Let me just keep quiet about it, work on it, push it out there, and when it's done, I'm past the finish line, I'm going to show people that I've been working on this. I ended up doing something for them 2 years prior. I met his photographer when he came here, which is my really good friend, Tor. And we chopped it up, we was cool again, like I was saying to you. I don't just build a relationship to have something that I can gain from. I'm in his circle now, you know what I mean? I'm part of the family. So, they hit me up randomly to do some merch for the record company. I did that and they liked it. and you know, they just phoned me randomly. Like, I was just chilling, bro, just randomly, and they were like, "Oh, bro, like this is hard. Haven't you got your own brand? Like, haven't you got anything that you're working on? You've got yourself?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did, but you know, I'm going through this whole NFL stuff." They were like, "Okay, cool. In the meanwhile, what can you do for us?" You know, I said, "Okay, what have you guys got? Like, what's coming up?" And they said, "Okay, we've got a tour coming up. Show us what you can do." Bro, I whipped it up in about 4 or 5 days. They said, "Cool, we like everything, but let's change a few things." A week after that was it. They signed it off. I was just so gutted that I couldn't go out there to see it. Do you know what I mean? But bro, it was insane seeing it in America, bro. Seeing like people wearing it and buying it, and people like when it was in New York, I had so many friends buy it and show me. Thinking to myself, this is a sick moment, bro.
No, this is crazy because even when we spoke before, you've always told me that you're gonna move to America soon.
100%.
Everything you want to do over there. So that was like, obviously you've done things in America already, but that was like a taste of like real success in America.
Touring as well. That's
going across the whole country.
He's probably the biggest rapper out right now. You know what I mean?
He is.
Yeah.
No, baby. Yeah, that's crazy, fam.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So for me to do that, that is big, and I haven't even had the chance to PR that in America yet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've just it's few people here know that it's happened, but me going to America and you know pushing it out there and going to the Breakfast Club and all that. You know what I mean? I'm yet to do all of that stuff. So yeah, man, it'll come. You know what I mean? I'm being patient. My ducks in a row, and again, just like the Selfridges stuff, it's brought so much relevance to me, and it's given like other rappers reassurance that you know if they want something, they could come to me. Do you know what I mean? And what amazes me is like he chose someone from West London to do that.
Bro, that's just mad.
Do you know what I mean? There's people. There's America is huge, bro. Do you know what I mean? There's graphic designers called Law, designers called Law. He chose someone from West London to do that. And I did it, smashed it. So
it's crazy how like talent within fashion can, you know, cross borders, cross cultures. Like it's crazy how it seems as though Americans have this perception of London as like, oh, it's light work. Do you know what I'm saying? Because real stuff goes on in there.
Of course.
Do you know what I'm saying? But I think it's sick how Little Baby saw the authenticity in you. His team saw the authenticity in you, and they thought, yeah, he can design something that represents our artists. Do you know what I mean? Because there's not many designers around here that they could probably say that.
100%. Yeah. No, it's working in our favour, especially you know, obviously in the acting fields for you know the Idrises and
John Boyega.
Yeah, even my man that was playing in what do you call it in BMF.
Oh, Kofi Aberfan, Ghanaian. Have you met him before?
No, but big up to him, man. Bro, I did not even know.
Cold. You see the Blue Story as well,
yeah, but how can you go from Blue Story to that, bro?
Crazy, bro.
He killed it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But I feel like we're really going out there and we're putting our mark on things, and I obviously aim to do that in the fashion industry, man.
100%. You know what we share? Your whole journey, basically, how can I put this? I'm trying to think of a good way to put this. It's just like, I feel like throughout this discussion, we've basically seen that throughout the journey, you've had people that kind of helped you. Like from the very beginning, you spoke about, I don't know if it was Ash you said, from Trap Star, but even before Ash, the gent your bedroom that you started the first brand with and whatnot. Like throughout, you've had people that have kind of impacted you in a certain way. Like, is there anybody now that you kind of work alongside that really helps you and has put you in different places?
Yeah. I've got mentors now, so I've got 2 mentors that are really, really pinnacle to like me. I've got a 3rd one now. First one is Becky Family. It's got Roxy and Shadow to Shine, the charity.
What's Roxy? Roxy
is an app that she's coming out with. It's like if LinkedIn and Instagram had a baby.
Oh wow!
So it's dope. it's basically like an app that focuses on you as a creative and your accolades rather than you like showing your holiday pictures and stuff, and companies taking you seriously and understanding what you can bring to the table, as well as you being able to showcase like your portfolio, whatever and stuff like that. So yeah, I've been helping her out with that, and she's been helping me, you know, putting me in contact with so many people, bro. Bro, the list is crazy, bro. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, she's really been helpful. So Sebastian's at Selfridges is one of my mentors, and we talk daily about, the trends in fashion, the metaverse and the NFTs and where fashion's going, sustainability, and my new mentor, that's recently come on board is Karen Binns.
Stylist, isn't it?
Yeah, for Wizkid at the moment. And she's helped a lot of like fashion brands, black designers, push forward in British fashion, British culture. So yeah, it's going to be fun to be working with her and having her on board. And
gonna learn a lot.
Yeah, learning a lot and soaking up all that information that she's putting out. So yeah, man, it's dope.
How important is mentorship, and how do people go about getting mentors?
You just gotta keep reaching out to people, man. Sometimes you could be annoying, sometimes you could be genuine. I think it's a mixture of both. Do you know what I mean? Because people are generally busy. But at the same time, I feel like individuals also need to be like honest to people that are reaching out to them. If you can't overcommit, you've got to at least like, put them in the right direction. And that's why I love what Becky's doing, because it's like, if she can't take on what you're doing, she could refer you to the app or to the her charity Shadow to Shine, which they help with mentorship and getting you into
big up Shadow to Shine and 2020 Change.
100%. Yeah, so that's what they do.
This is like my last question.
Yeah.
It's been a great conversation, as always. Yes, I always ask this to everyone, every guest, like, what are the main pieces of advice? You've given a lot, by the way, but what are like the main lasting pieces of advice that you want to give to like any up and coming designers or people that want to get into fashion in general?
It depends what role you want to get into, with the fashion industry. I say study your role. Don't get disheartened, because this is a journey. It's a long-term journey. Don't think of it as a short-term gain at all. Obviously, if you can't get mentors, YouTube your mentor. Make YouTube your mentor. Study and learn from YouTube first, and just build up as much information you can, and learn from that. And never give up, man. Never give up. Never get disheartened. Trademark your stuff if you really believe in it. And if you don't know how to trademark, again, make YouTube your mentor. You can always type in and read and research and watch videos based on trademarking and financial forecasts and business plans, what to put in your business plan. Everything is at your hands. You know what I mean? If you've got time to think about whether you want to be in the fashion industry or not, you've got time to study for it. So yeah, just study for anything you want to do, and you'll be successful, man.
You hear that, guys? Make YouTube your mentor. 100%. Even this podcast, 100%. We're gonna have loads of different mentors sitting in that seat. So make sure you watch, subscribe, like, and that. But yeah, Reece, bro.
Love family, always, man.
I'm happy we got to do this, man. Love for this, bro, man. Reece, where can everyone listening find you?
I'm on Instagram, Reece Yeboah. My website's gonna be out early in the new year. I say end of January, early February. So I'll keep you guys posted with that. And for now, if you need anything from me, I'll be on Instagram.
And you're obviously gonna have the website. Make sure it's gonna be lit. But my people, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You know where to find us. WMTV_LD on Instagram. Obviously on the YouTube channel already. By now, hopefully, guys, we should have Twitter and LinkedIn and that popping. But it should be WMTV LDN. But as I always say, guys, keep it locked.